Welcome to Confession, the podcast where secrets find a voice and hearts unburn their heaviest truths. I'm your host, guiding you through raw, anonymous stories of guilt, love, betrayal, and the messy corners of human life. No judgment here, just real human experiences that remind us we're all flawed, all searching for redemption in our own way. Today we're stepping into a story that unfolded behind the white picket fences of a quiet suburban neighborhood, a tale of temptation, betrayal, and the weight of regret. Our guest, calling herself Sarah, is ready to share a secret that's been eating her alive for nearly a year. Sarah, welcome to Confession. Are you ready to tell your story?
Thanks. I think I'm ready. This has been tearing me apart for so long. It's like a knot in my chest that won't loosen. I need to get it out, even if it's painful.
We're here for you, Sarah. Take your time. Start wherever feels right. What's your confession?
I'm 32. Married to Mike for 7 years. We live in this picture-perfect suburb. White picket fence, golden retriever named Max, a cozy house with a little garden I'm terrible at keeping alive. No kids yet, though we've talked about it. Dreamed about names and nursery colors. Mike's in sales, travels a lot, sometimes weeks at a time for conferences or client meetings. When he's gone, the house feels like a museum. Too quiet, too empty. Just me and Max padding around. That's when I started noticing our neighbor, Tom. He's 38, divorced, lives alone next door in a tidy little house with perfect roses. At first, it was just neighborly stuff. Waves across the lawn, small talk about the weather or how Max chewed up my tulips again. Nothing serious. Nothing that raised any red flags.
Sounds like the kind of suburban routine we all know. When did things start to shift?
About 10 months ago. Mike was away on a 2-week trip to Chicago for some big sales conference. I was feeling lost, I guess. The days dragged, and I was tired of Netflix and takeout. One morning, my car wouldn't start. I was out in the driveway, cursing under my breath, ready to give up. Tom saw me from his porch, came over, and took a look. It was just a loose battery cable, nothing major, but I felt so helpless. He fixed it in minutes, all calm and kind, didn't make me feel like an idiot. I invited him in for coffee to say thanks. That's when it started. We sat at my kitchen table, talked for hours about my loneliness, his divorce, how he moved here to start over after his ex left him. He was so easy to talk to, so present. Mike's amazing, don't get me wrong, but he's always distracted. Work calls, emails, always half in another world. Tom made me feel seen, like I was more than just background noise.
That kind of attention can be intoxicating, especially when you're feeling invisible. What happened next?
A few days later, Tom invited me over for a barbecue. His friends bailed last minute, so it was just us. We had wine, laughed about silly things like how Max stole a burger patty once. We sat on his patio under the stars, the air warm and heavy with summer. I don't know who leaned in first, maybe me, maybe him. But we kissed. It was like a spark. Like waking up after years of sleepwalking through my life. My heart was racing, and for a moment I felt alive, like I was 20 again, full of possibility. I went home that night, my mind spinning, guilt clawing at me. I told myself it was a mistake, a one-time thing, I'd stop. But I didn't stop.
So that kiss opened the door to something more?
Yeah, it was like opening a door I couldn't close. We started texting. Innocent stuff at first, like how's Max or nice weather today. Then it got flirty. Little compliments, teasing jokes. Before long, the texts were more suggestive, secretive. When Mike was at work or away, Tom would come over. The first time we slept together was in our guest room of all places. The room we'd painted together, joking about it being a future nursery someday. I felt like a different person, passionate, reckless, wanted. But afterward, I'd stand in the bathroom staring at myself in the mirror, hating what I saw. Tom told me his marriage ended because his ex cheated, left him shattered. And here I was, doing the same thing to Mike. I felt like a hypocrite, a villain in my own story, betraying everything I'd promised.
That's a heavy realization, knowing you're repeating someone else's pain. How long did this go on?
7 months. It became this secret routine. 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week. His place, my place, even reckless moments like sneaking into his backyard at midnight, hidden by the shadows. The thrill was addictive, like a drug that made me feel alive, but left me hollow. I'd tell myself every time, this is the last time. But then I'd see Tom smile or get a text and I'd fall back into it. The guilt was crushing, though. I lied to Mike constantly. Fake girls' nights with friends I hadn't seen in months. Made up errands to cover my tracks. He'd notice I was distant, ask if I was okay, his eyes full of concern. I'd force a smile, say everything was fine, but I was unraveling inside. I started having panic attacks, my heart racing at every phone notification. Terrified he'd see a text or notice Tom's car parked too long. Every creak in the house, every car door slamming outside felt like the moment I'd get caught.
Living with that kind of fear must have been exhausting. Did anyone else start to suspect?
Oh, yeah. Our neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins. She's this nosy older lady who watches the street like a hawk. She started dropping hints. Little comments like, Tom's around a lot, helping with house stuff, or, you two seem friendly. I'd laugh it off, my stomach in knots, but my heart would pound. One day, she saw us talking too close in my driveway. Tom was helping me carry groceries, and our hands brushed. Her eyes were sharp, like she knew something was off. I started avoiding her, taking Max for walks in the opposite direction, but it wasn't easy. Her kitchen window faces my front yard, and I could feel her watching. Then there was Mike's sister, Emily, who came over for dinner one night. She asked why I seemed so jumpy, why I kept checking my phone. I brushed it off, said it was work stress, but I could tell she wasn't convinced. The lies were piling up, and I was drowning in them.
That sounds like a web of stress closing in. Did Tom ever complicate things further?
Yeah, he did. About 4 months in, Tom started pushing for more. He'd talk about me leaving Mike, starting a life together, maybe moving somewhere new. He'd say things like, you deserve someone who's here for you, who sees you. It was flattering at first, but it scared me. I love Mike. I've always loved Mike. This thing with Tom, it wasn't love. It was an escape, a way to feel something other than the loneliness that crept in when Mike was gone. I started to see how far I'd fallen, how I was risking everything, my marriage, my home, my future, for a fantasy that wasn't even real. I'd lie awake at night, imagining Mike finding out. imagining the hurt in his eyes, the way he'd look at me like I was a stranger. It was torture.
That's a lot to carry. Love, guilt, and the pull of temptation. What made you finally end it?
3 months ago, Mike planned a surprise weekend getaway to the coast. He said he wanted to rekindle things, to bring us closer. We drove out to this little seaside town, stayed in a quaint bed and breakfast. We had dinner at a restaurant with fairy lights, walked on the beach under the moonlight, laughed about old memories like the time Max ate our picnic lunch on our first date. It reminded me why I fell in love with him, why I said yes all those years ago. That night, I locked myself in the hotel bathroom and cried for hours. I saw how much I was throwing away. Our marriage, our dreams of a family, the life we'd built together. I realized I couldn't keep living this double life. When we got back, I told Tom it was over. He was hurt, angry, begged me to reconsider, said he was falling in love with me. He even showed up at my door one night, pleading, but I held firm. I blocked his number, started avoiding him. Now, every time I see him mowing his lawn or grabbing his mail, my stomach twists. It's like living next to a ghost of my worst mistake.
That's a powerful moment of clarity, Sarah. And Mike, does he know any of this?
No. That's the hardest part. I want to tell him to come clean, but I'm terrified it'll destroy us. He's been so happy lately, talking about starting a family, picking out baby names, Ellie for a girl, Noah for a boy. He's even started sketching ideas for a nursery, measuring the spare room. How do I tell him I betrayed him, that I broke our vows? I feel like a fraud every day, smiling while carrying this secret. Every time he kisses me goodnight, I want to confess, but the words choke in my throat. This affair, it showed me our marriage needs work. We need to talk more, be present, really see each other. I'm trying to fix it, to be better, but the guilt is like a shadow I can't escape. If anyone's listening, thinking about crossing that line, don't. The rush, the thrill, it's not worth the pain. It's not worth losing everything.
That's a raw, honest warning, Sarah. Thank you for being so open. It takes incredible courage to face this truth. How do you feel now, having shared this?
Lighter, but still broken. It's like I've let out a breath I'd been holding for months, but the weight's still there. I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. To Mike, if you ever hear this, I'm so sorry. I love you, and I'm trying to be the person you deserve, the person I used to be.
That's a huge step, Sarah. Owning your story is where healing begins. Listeners, Sarah's story might stir something in you. What do you think about her situation? Have you ever been caught in a moment of temptation like this? Please, leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. That's all for this episode of Confession. Thank you, Sarah, for trusting us with your story. Until next time, stay true to yourselves. Goodbye, and we'll meet again for the next story.